Welcome to the Everton LR podcast. You're hosted by Kaden Openshaw with my guest Joshua.
Hello.
Today this is the first episode of the Everton LR podcast, an idea I've been brewing on for a while. I'm glad to see the positive reaction that it's received online and social media. It's going to be a bit of waffle, I'm not going to lie, because this first episode is a bit of a test-ish. Like I said, joined by Josh, who has been to a maximum of one LR game.
Indeed, so I don't really know why I'm here.
But so obviously we're going to start the podcast with the media update segment, which is just the one thing, the LR commentary situation. So as you all know, we've had two so far of LR radio. That was the Darwin game, that was decent, but it was also a lot of audio issues, and then the Warrington game, which was just pure fan noise, which I do apologise for, but we are looking into some investments of the microphones, some decent prices for when I get paid. I've had a look, and I've chosen a few that I think would do quite decent. Obviously, we've had a bit of a promotion recently. The £25 sponsor a player. Contact 𝗘𝗽𝗶𝘀𝗍𝗲 for that offer. Obviously, every player and coach. We have limited spaces available at the Everton LR team. Right, so now we will move on to the first actual part of the podcast, which is something we have been waiting for, the Steeton game last Saturday. Obviously, Josh, you wasn't there. You couldn't join us for that one.
Indeed.
1-0 to LR, where it was quite a quiet game. A lot of chances for LR. An Alfie Walker free kick, by the way. Obviously, have you seen the goal, the Alfie Walker goal?
No, I haven't.
Free kick.
I think I've seen it on your Twitter, but
yeah.
it's like a still image.
Oh. Obviously, coming into the game, LR have been on good form recently. Nearly top of the league, nearly top of the playoff. It's very competitive actually at the top. I'm pretty sure top 5 is 2 points difference.
Oh,
from second to fifth.
A lot of teams in the title race. Yeah,
well, not title race, playoff race.
Oh, playoff.
Yeah, we have to avoid saying title race because the manager's a bit dodgy on that.
My bad.
Obviously, pre-match rating. That's for the media side. Ground rating. It was quite a nice ground. A lot of decent facilities for their level. I liked the use of containers for stands. That was a very nice touch from the club. Hospitality was excellent, I think. Obviously, when it started raining in the middle of the game, and I was literally no shelter whatsoever, stood there recording, I had to run in, grab an umbrella, which they happily helped with.
Nice man.
Yeah, very nice man. Bold of you to assume it was a man, I must say.
I said man.
Right. I forgot the starting 11 off the top of my head, but I know that Joe Bickerstaff put in quite a good performance in that one. The goalkeeper, I'm not sure if you know that.
The goalkeeper?
Yeah, Joe Bickerstaff.
I heard one of them was injured.
Injured.
Oh, is that just wrong?
I think that's just wrong.
But wait, no, I think it might have been the Bolton, what your dad was talking about.
Oh, yeah. So obviously, yeah, pretty much, it was weird because it was such a sunny day when we got there, and then as soon as it kicked off, it just started raining.
You just know it's going to happen though, don't you?
Yeah.
Beautiful day in England.
It happens like every day now. Like, it's like starting up the morning, you're thinking, it's beautiful, I'm going to go outside for a walk. Second you stand at your door, it just starts raining. But obviously that was the same theme at Steeton. Surrounding scenes, very beautiful place, I must say. I'm not sure if you've seen a picture of it, I'll put one quick right now. But it's basically just a hill, and it just looks like holiday resort, I'd say.
Luscious.
Yeah, very.
Oh yeah, that's a really nice place.
Like I said, I like the colour scheme and all that. I think green's a very nice colour to go for a football club. And obviously the inside, it was a bit weird because the toilets are like an old changing room, I'm assuming. So when I first walked in, I thought, I'm in the changing rooms here, I should probably leave.
Oh, they've repurposed them.
Yeah, but obviously I didn't know that at the time, so I was like, I've just walked to the changing rooms back.
A little bit confusing.
But yeah, so all in all, I'd say it's quite a decent ground for its level. It's not Crawley Park, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah. The game assessment is the next thing up. Like I said, an 𝗘𝗲 goal separated the teams. I think it was 4 minutes in, LR earned a penalty. Luke Nichols, which unfortunately was saved. It was a very good save, I must say. But it was saved nonetheless. We had quite a string of chances in the first half. A lot of, especially in the second half, actually. He knocked one in. Raulino didn't wave a flag, so I'm not sure what the referee saw. I think it was a foul in the build-up.
So would it be fair to say that Everton were quite dominant in the game?
It was quite dominant, yeah. Good assessment from that one. But yeah, a lot of, I wouldn't say referee mistakes, but it was a bit dodgy, to say the least.
Just didn't seem to go your way that day.
Nah. Well, it did result-wise, but we had a lot of chances that in the final third it was a bit dodgy. Not to say that they were crap, but just to say that it's not like, I feel like they could have done a lot better.
Chances that could have been, that should have been.
Yeah. Steeton, on the other hand, they were a bit quiet for most of the game, and then all of a sudden in the last 10 minutes it was a short burst. Like Dave Jones said, then the kind of chances were, if they attack it right and get the right shot away, then they're going to punish you. So that could have easily been a 1-point game. That we really needed the 3 points for that one, especially with the Ashton result before that.
And the scoreboard was what?
What, sorry?
The score was what?
1-0 to LR. Obviously, it should have been more, like Brandon Dawson said, it should have been about 4-5-0. But at the end of the day, you can't fault Steeton for what was a very good defensive performance.
Yeah.
The goalkeeper made quite a few decent saves. Steeton obviously hit the crossbar late in the game, which was a very big fright for a lot of LR fans.
A lot of adrenaline pumping there.
Yeah. Final whistle went, and it was just a big sigh of relief for the team. From the media perspective, it was a very wet one. Right, well, that's put me off track, hasn't it?
It was a bit of a wet one.
Yeah, so
Really?
like I previously said, stood in the wet rain. I don't know what other metaphors I could use for rain. I'll just go with wet.
Pouring.
Yeah, pouring rain. Like recently, obviously at 𝗘𝗲𝗄 Park, I've had games where I've just been stood in the rain, and obviously it's not nice. But so you get used to it eventually. But obviously it's not good for the camera either.
Must have made it hard for the players as well.
Oh yeah, definitely. Obviously I got like I said, nice setup, nice little place for the media. They have like a little area for us with the VO goals and all that, which would give me quite a good vantage point, ignoring the referee's head during 𝗘𝗲𝗀𝗀's goal. But yeah, obviously post-match, there wasn't much to say about it, right? It was just the same as usual. There's no like specific places for us. It's just find a place, do it there. Obviously, moving on to our next game, a very big game tonight. Ashton Town away, which was a previously abandoned tie, which is also the one that you went to.
Yes.
What did you make of the last game?
Well, it was actually a pretty good game before it got called off. There was both sides going at each other. A lot of chances, a lot of missed chances. But, yeah,
obviously, I remember it was the Cal Hunter penalty that separated the teams at half-time.
Yeah.
Obviously, unfortunately, the game had to be abandoned following a very serious leg injury, for which we wish him a speedy recovery. It's a shame, obviously, if as a footballer, you don't want to have things like that happen to you, especially having to be carried away in an ambulance.
No one wants a stretcher.
No, not at all. But yeah, from a media perspective, it's a very nice ground, a very big crowd on that one.
Surprisingly big crowd.
Yeah. The only thing I could critique is the prices, because £4 for a pin badge, it's a bit steep. I'm not gonna lie.
A little bit hefty.
Yeah. Obviously food as well. It was quite expensive. Like £5 for a burger expensive. Like it's the kind of prices you see at like League One grounds.
Yeah.
Not Northwest Coast grounds.
Unlucky for Everton as well for being the leading team.
Yeah.
And getting it called off.
Seems to be a common occurrence that, unfortunately, like with the ladies' game on Sunday, 1-0 up, and then it had to be unfortunately abandoned. But obviously for the right reason.
Yeah, just a stroke of misfortune.
Yeah. Right, obviously the Ashton game. As I was saying, media setup, quite decent. Unfortunately, it wasn't allowed on the scaffold for the VO, which is fair enough. You know, it's their stadium, their rules. Talked with the fans, some of them. We had a bit of an occurrence with the goal cam. So in the first half, I set the goal cam. I think it was you who started it. at the end of it. Yeah, and obviously I had to go check it after 25 minutes, and there was some Ashton fans jeering at me, saying, "Why have you put that there? You're not going to score."
Making fun.
And obviously when we scored that penalty, I had to go over and, take the mick a bit.
Rub a bit of salt in the wound.
Yeah. Obviously walked over, they were a bit quiet. Expected. Not to put any, personal beef out there, because I'd rather not be attacked during a game.
It's a bit of fun.
Yeah. But, so it's like the only experience I've ever had with, aggressive fans. I'd say aggressive, but...
Like bantering.
Yeah. Well, they didn't take it as banter, apparently, because they didn't look very happy.
Yeah. I can imagine not being very happy after getting scored on.
Yeah. Obviously, coming into the second half, before the injury, LR seemed to be quite dominant in that game, like you said. A lot of chances. There was... it's like the final third thing, like you said. It's just getting into trying to get,
that final pass, that final shot.
Yeah. Obviously, you can't fault defending. The defending in this league is incredible. A lot of teams, they're always just putting 100% out there in defence. Same with LR.
I remember those, particularly those full-backs.
Oh,
They were very good that game.
Is that for LR or Ashton?
Ashton, defensive-wise.
Yeah,
and defensive-wise, he was getting up and down that wing.
Yeah, it was. It was a very colourful character as well, with his banter. Obviously, the gaffer... We didn't get any thoughts from the gaffer after that game, obviously due to the abandoned nature. It was actually a Dave Jones banned game following the Ashton game, where we got a stadium ban for 3 games. Obviously, you didn't know that, did you?
No.
You haven't met Dave yet. So it was Gareth Flitcroft at the helm for that afternoon. Obviously, it's. I know Dave would say they're all part of the same team. They're all the same. They all do the same job, and it shows how connected they are as a team by how much they perform, even without Dave. Not saying that, I'd rather Dave not be there. Now we're going to move on to the Gaffer's Corner, where we will hear from Dave Jones for his recent interview. I will read through the questions before the interview, because obviously I wasn't there on Saturday when he answered the questions. Yeah. So obviously the first question is, obviously with the postponed game on Saturday, how did you spend the day off as a team? Second question, a huge Ashton test tonight, another game that was previously abandoned. What do you make of their team? And following that, we spoke to the Ashton Town gaffer, who highlighted his admiration for the job you've done so far. How pleasing is it to know that respect goes both ways in this tie? And here's the gaffer's words following that.
Yeah, we were gutted, to be honest, mate. Obviously, really looking forward to playing on Saturday and getting back at home, but it just wasn't meant to be in the end. I think, Sean, Chris, myself, Gareth, we put a right shift in to try and get the pitch right, but just got beat by the weather, and it is what it is. I think, you can't complain too much. There's been some other teams the last few months that have been well worse done to than ourselves in terms of having games called off and stuff like that. So for us, it was just turn our attentions to Tuesday night. We got in and we trained on Saturday. I think it's always difficult for the players because they've mentally and physically prepared for the game, and then that gets took away from them, and then you've got to come in and you've got to train. But they applied themselves so well as they have done all season, and it was a really good, productive morning for us, morning's training for us. So, we're looking forward to Tuesday night. It's the type of game, isn't it, that everyone wants to be involved in at this end of the season. So for the football club, for Atherton LR Football Club to be involved in that, it's brilliant because, we were well aware when we came in the summer, the noise around how long it had been since the club had been in that top half, in playoffs and stuff like that. I think it's been 11, 12 years since they've been in the top half. So for us to come in and be able to change that as a group of staff and players, and also the committee off the pitch, to be involved in these games at the end of the year, it's brilliant, and we're really looking forward to it. But we're not just happy to be involved in them. We want to go into them and try and get something from the game and try and keep our push going. It's not just happy to be there moment. We really got to go there and take the game to them. But we're well aware of how difficult a test it's going to be, and it is a huge test, of course it is, because you look at the players they've got, like I say all the time, the players that have played higher and they've dropped down, and the resources they've got to bring players in, the experience they've got throughout that side, that have, they've won leagues, they've won promotions, they know how to do it. So for us to have a chance of getting anything out the game tomorrow, we've got to make sure that we're right, we're 100% right on and off the ball, good in both boxes, take our chances when we get them, deliver the game plan really well. So they're the things we've got to look after ourselves and make sure that we're right at, but also fully aware of what they can bring to the table. And you know, like I say, we've just got to make sure that we're right at it and ready from the start and ready for the challenge and ready for the test. I think it's that time of the year, isn't it? I call it delivery time, where we've got to be right. We've got to be ready to deliver. We've got 8 games to go, and we've just got to keep pushing ourselves in terms of that. Yeah, I saw, obviously you sent me them before, I saw Kev's comments in terms of myself and the lads at Atherton. I think, you know, that's a really nice touch from him. And obviously the same's going back to him as well. They're doing really well themselves, aren't they? They've sort of got a different sort of group than us. We're at the young end of the group. They've got a more experienced group. But, you know, they're doing really well themselves, and Kev's done a really good job there and turned it round from they've had a really tough few years as well on and off the pitch. So they're doing really well themselves. It's a game that, you know, we're all looking forward to. Both sides are looking forward to. Both clubs are looking forward to it. And, you know, there was a good crowd there when we played in the abandoned tie the other week. So hopefully, you know, if people need to get a game, then get down and, you know, show both teams your support at the run.
And that was the gaffer's words. Obviously, like Dave said, it's delivery time this time of season. Obviously, a fantastic assessment from the gaffer. Like you said, I think that this is like the most important part of the season for the team.
It's crucial.
Yeah, exactly. No, you can't really drop points, and especially in games like this where you're so close, and like the range.
Do or die time in the season.
Yeah, it is. Yes. And obviously, in case no one knows what 𝗘𝗽𝗶𝘀𝗍 said, it's obviously in the match preview, but he's quoted in saying, "Dave Jones has done a great job since he's gone in there and assembled a young group of players full of appetite, who are sat in a really healthy position. Very much like ourselves, when was the last time either club were at these heights in February?" Obviously, some kind words from the 𝗘𝗽𝗶𝘀𝗍, the Ashton gaffer, and we wish them the very best of luck for tonight. Obviously, you know, time flies, doesn't it? It's been 30 long years since the famous Aldershot tie in the 𝗘𝗲 quarter-final, with a bumper-to-bumper crowd of 1,956, which still remains LR's top attendance.
It's quite the amount of spectators.
It is quite a lot, isn't it? We obviously have a few messages to give, obviously to Rebecca from Rochdale FC, who unfortunately had the serious injury from Sunday in the cup semi-final against LR. It was unfortunate to see that she had an MRL and ACL injury, and we wish her the very best. Obviously, dates for your diary for the match. We've got quite a few big games this month. Obviously, the Nelson FC game has been moved to Saturday the 16th, following the postponed game. Tonight, we have Ashton Town away, which is a big game, obviously, like we said. 𝗘𝗽𝗶𝘀𝗍 on Wednesday the 13th, away. Obviously, another big game. They're doing quite well in the table. Runcorn Town, another away day, on the 23rd of March. I'm not sure where they are in the league currently, but any game in the league is a hard game.
Lots to look forward to.
Lots to look forward to is the Hulker game, definitely, at the end of the month. Obviously, the last time we played them, it was an unfortunate 2-0 defeat. That is actually a funny story. When we were there, one of the, I think it was the chairman or the secretary, came up to our secretary and said that they wasn't very happy with the words that we said about the club on our podcast. But the thing is, we didn't have a podcast at the time. Obviously, this is like the first ever episode of our podcast.
Yeah.
I don't know. Apparently, he heard somewhere that I forgot what he said specifically, but something about their team and sheep.
Are they perhaps Welsh? Maybe they're going to have some harsh words again.
Maybe. Obviously, like I said, Hulker last time it was a 2-0 defeat. It was a very deserved result. Apologies. They're a very good team. Obviously, they are where they are right now because of all the hard work. No one I can remember specifically. Apologies again. And obviously, like I said, the 𝗘𝗶𝘀𝗍 game. That's quite a big one. 2 postponed previously. Fun fact about them is that their manager is currently the chairman, and he has been there for, I think, 13 years.
13 years.
Yeah, so I think he's one of the longest serving managing sporting directors in the league.
How long's the Everton manager been?
10 months.
Oh, fairly recent then.
Yeah, very recent. It's a very young team. I'd like to give a congratulations to Lewis Rawsthorne for his under-21s goal for Radcliffe EDS against CMB. last week. Obviously, recently signed a contract with them. But loaned back to LR for the rest of the season, watching Lewis Ross one putting on a show and all that. Looking forward to seeing him in action tonight, obviously. Coming to the end of February, that was a very big month for LR. Big results, undefeated for a full month, even though we played 2 games.
Still undefeated though.
Yeah, 100% record in that month. Congratulations to Goal of the Month, 𝗘𝗲_𝗀𝗲, for that free kick. I'll quickly show you that right now because I don't think you've seen it. So obviously, like we said, congratulations to 𝗘𝗲_𝗀𝗲 for his Goal of the Month award. Or award, we'll say that, well, he doesn't get anything. But obviously it was a fantastic goal, you've just seen it now.
That was a good goal.
There was a very short selection last month, not saying that I want every goal to be fantastic, but it would be nice to have, like, the one.
Who doesn't want a great goal?
But I was thinking the night before, I'm hoping that we get a good goal tomorrow because I'm kind of short for a goal of the month. But obviously 𝗘𝗲_𝗀𝗲 went and just smashed it in.
Yeah.
And that was the goal that separated LR from Steeton, like we said earlier. Player of the month, actually.
Also 𝗘𝗲.
Also. It was 𝗘𝗲, yeah.
Oh.
I think it was someone else on Instagram. Yep. So our Twitter player of the month was 𝗘𝗲_𝗀𝗲. And our Instagram player of the month was Dave Moore, the LR veteran. Obviously, a fantastic from both of them so far. Been a fantastic campaign. 𝗘𝗲 has only just arrived in January from Earlham, I believe. But so far, he's just been a great asset to the team. Same with Lance, same with Flynn. Despite his lack of game so far, he had a bit of a stint in the Warrington friendly. But from what I've seen, he looks quite good. Finally, in the end of the podcast, obviously it's quite short, but this is just the beginning. Next week we'll have the an introduction of a player interview, where I will be talking about, well, they will be talking about the journey they've had so far to be at LR.
Any clues into who that player is, or?
Not yet, because I haven't confirmed anything yet. Thank you for listening to the first episode of the Fell Language. I almost said it. To the I'm having separation here. Thank you for listening to the first episode of the Everton LR podcast. Obviously, you've been hosted by Kaden Openshaw and joined by our guest Joshua. And we will see you tonight in Ashton. Have a good one.